Hey, what's up, you guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Borderlands 2. Kicking it off today, just picking up from our last episode. I went and turned in the mission that I was doing in the last episode. Now I got a new one where I gotta pick up that little midget dude that popped out of the porta potty in the last episode, and I'm gonna take him. And I think I'm gonna take him somewhere to get sacrificed or something like that. I have no idea right now. But yeah.
My name is Jeff.
Our most devoted brother.
Listen to this story about
people for the
I quit.
with nothing more than an incendiary pistol and the strength of his belief.
100 people? Okay, that's impressive.
But yeah, guys, last episode we were kind of just talking about the game and kind of trying to get everybody familiarized with my channel and everything like that. I think this episode we're gonna go ahead and tell a story, and it's kind of an interesting story about interesting and long. So it's probably gonna be taking up the next few episodes, really, if I'm not able to get it done in this one. But basically it's just about how much of an idiot I was back in high school, and you know, how many times I actually got arrested back in high school. I think I got like arrested 4 times back in high school and actually put in jail once. I wasn't actually like in the actual big jail or anything. I'm not trying to make myself seem all badass or whatever. Like I was in, like I served time or anything like that. But you know, they took me, basically put me in handcuffs and took me up to the holding cell. But you know, that's later on in the story. Right now, I really just want to kind of start at the beginning and tell everybody why I started getting arrested in the first place in high school and where things kind of went south. You know, well, I was always like a really good kid in junior high school, and I guess just going into 8th grade and started in 9th grade year, I kind of got like started into smoking weed, and I wouldn't say like weed is really what caused everything bad in my life, but it really just I started at too young of an age, and it took away my motivation to do a lot of things like schoolwork and stuff like that I was supposed to be doing at the time, and just got me in a lot of trouble. And I was also very idiotic with it. Like I would take it to school and show it off to my buddies and try and like show off to everybody that I was high and stuff like that, just because I was so mature at the time and really trying to deal with something that I really shouldn't have been trying to deal with back then. But I mean, I do smoke now, but I'm a lot older, so I feel like I can handle it a lot better. And whenever I started, like way back then, I was only like 12 or 13. Yeah, I don't think that's like the best time to get started. But anyway, back to the story. So it was freshman year in high school, and I think I had just got done buying some, because that's the way I had to do it in high school, is I had to buy it from somebody in high school, because I couldn't go around and like get it from other people, because you know, I was just too young, and just it was the easiest access in high school, because they were like seniors and stuff, like 18-year-olds that would sell it to like the younger kids and stuff like that. So it was just easier access in high school, and so that's the way we got our stuff. And a lot of times I would have to hide it on me. And this particular day, I think I had like 2 grams of some kush on me. So I mean, it was pretty loud, and I think I was like sitting in class, and I was kind of baked or whatever, and so of course I was being an idiot and, you know, trying to show off and tell everybody how high I was and how I just smoked and this and that. And this dude right next to me, I think his name was like Zohabe or something like that. I'm not gonna say his last name, I don't want to get that personal, but he ended up going, like, walking up to the teacher and telling the teacher, you know, basically like, hey, like, I think I smell weed around Daniel, or around Daniel's area, or something like that. And you know, a few minutes later, I see him go sit down. Teacher calls me up, and she's like, "Hey, Daniel, I think you should step outside. The principal wants to talk to you. Blah blah blah." So I'm like, "Okay, you know, what the heck?" I knew I was in some kind of trouble at that point, but I wasn't really completely sure if it was for the weed or not. So I stepped outside the into the hallway and was greeted by my principal and the cop. As soon as I saw the cop, I was like, okay, I'm fucked. And so yeah, the cop and the principal take me over to the office, and they start questioning me about, oh, what's that smell, this and that. Like, people are saying that you might have weed in the classroom, or you might have weed on you, and stuff like that. And they're just basically trying to get me to admit that I had it on me at that point. And whenever I wasn't going to admit it, they saw that I was lying. They kind of did this like field sobriety test to me, where the cop like waved his finger in front of my face, and it was just really stupid and arbitrary. It didn't seem like, even if I was like baked out of my mind, I don't think I wouldn't be able to follow somebody's finger back and forth. It was just kind of stupid, but I guess that's what cops do to determine whether somebody's intoxicated or not. I don't know. But anyway, so he gets done with that, and then notices that I'm not really acting different or anything like that. I'm acting normal, and so he decides to search my bag. And that, as soon as he asked to search my bag, that's when I knew it was all over. It was the male SRO and the female SRO at this point had walked into the office, and they both were opening my bag and searching through everything, pulling out markers and just pulling the tops off markers and going through basically everything in the bag, being as thorough as they possibly could be. And eventually they found everything in my bag. They found 2 grams in my front smallest pocket of my backpack, and this little zipper pocket inside that pocket that was supposed to hold credit cards or something, I guess. Yeah, they found it in there in my bag, and the lady cop, she sees it, and I hear it, the bag crinkle in her hand as she's pulling it out, and she pulls it all the way out, and with this smug look on her face, and just looks at me like, you're busted, basically. She asked me, she's like, what's this? And I'm like, I don't know, I go into full defense run at this point. I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is, I don't know where it came from, it's not mine, it's somebody else's, somebody else put it in my bag, this and that. And they were like, oh, it doesn't matter, if somebody gave it to, I mean, of course it was mine, but I was telling them it wasn't, and they said, to me, that it doesn't matter even if it is mine or not, that it was in my possession, and possession apparently is 9/10 the law. So what that means is that if it's in your possession, it doesn't matter if it's somebody else's whatever, if it's somebody else's property, if it's somebody else's weed, if it's somebody else's this and that. If it's in your possession, then by the eyes of the law, it's yours at that moment of time or whatever. And so yeah, basically what they did was they told me that I was gonna go to I was gonna go to ISS first, which is in-school suspension, and then they told me that I was gonna go to this alternative school called Crystal Palace. But yeah, it's just an alternative school where the bad kids basically go whenever they get expelled from the bigger school. They go to that school because the district doesn't want them to stop learning or something. I don't know. So they sent me to this school where we had to wear uniforms, and we were watched by a bunch of different police officers, and they just treated us like prisoners every day, and it was living hell. And high school is already like that, so it was 10 times all the bad things of high school. And they sent me there for about, I think it was 40 days, but we could earn good days, and I think I got 10 good days, because I was like, fuck that, I'm getting the hell up out of here. And so I ended up getting out of there in 30 days and went back to school. And I was good back in school all the way, I think I was good all the way until junior year. No, sophomore year. I think the middle of sophomore year, I started being bad again. And basically, I think this time it was because I had jumped up on top of, like, I was doing parkour at the time. And so I had like jumped up on top of this like bar in front of my school and tried to use that to jump like over this lady's car, and I didn't realize I couldn't jump as far as I thought I could, and ended up landing right on top of her hood and putting a huge dent in her hood. And just like I kind of just like ran off and like didn't think anything was gonna happen of it, but apparently it was like the lunch lady's car, and the lunch lady like goes outside, sees like this big dent on her car, and talks to like the principal and the people in the school, and they like review the cameras that were on the car, which I didn't know they had. And she kind of like they kind of could tell it was me or whatever, because I guess they have like really good quality cameras at the high school I went to. And because you know I was always getting caught on the camera somehow. But anyway, they'd seen me do this act of idiocy, jumping on her car and, you know, putting a dent in the hood and everything like that. And they call me from class and start talking to me, and they call my mom, and my mom comes to the school, and they start talking to my mom and telling her, oh, your son jumped off on top of this car, and the lady was trying to say I did it maliciously and stuff like that. And then, you know, of course I did, and it was an accident. I was trying to do parkour over the car and landed on top of her hood. But luckily my mom, I think she might have had insurance at the time, but I think she still had to pay like a lot of money and to get me out of that one. And like I think right after that, I think it was like 1 or 2 months right after that, I got caught for bringing alcohol into school. So yeah, I was bad all around in high school, doing everything you could possibly think of at the time, just being a real idiot. But yeah, I brought some alcohol into school. Well, at first I was drunk. I had gotten drunk, and then I had like I don't think I brought it into school. I think they just caught me intoxicated. That was the thing. So yeah, I was intoxicated in class, and I think the bell had rang, and I was in like, I think my English class, or maybe it was math, and I went to go to the door, and like as soon as the bell rang, I got up and like went to the door, and I started like bending over and trying to put because I had a wallet on the end of my lanyard, and for some reason I mistook my wallet for my shoe, and so I was sitting at the door adamantly trying to put my wallet onto my foot like it's my shoe. And the teacher sees this, and she's like, wow, this kid is, you know, there's something wrong with this kid. And she asked me what I'm doing, and apparently I tell her, my shoe, can't you see I'm trying to put my shoe on? And she's like, that's your wallet, you know? And I'm sure you're drunk to understand what she's trying to tell me, and so she has to end up calling the cop and the principal and everything like that. By this time, the whole next class is already filing in. It's already been 5 minutes. The bell's already ringing for the next period. So the SRO and the nurse or whoever came is putting me in this like wheelchair thing in front of like everybody in front of my classroom, kind of just humiliating me. But I mean, I guess I was an idiot. I kind of deserved it at that point. But so yeah, they wheeled me off and took me to the office, or the nurse, or wherever they took me, and called my mom. And basically the same situation as the first time with the weed. They gave me ISS, put me in out of school suspension also that time. And then right after I got out of school suspension, I had to go back to Christian college. So you know, all the teachers there were like, "Oh, hi, Daniel," and I was like that. But it's getting close to the end of the time, guys, and I think we're gonna have to close this out and continue the rest of the story in the next episode. I'll see you next time, guys. Have a nice one. As always, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and smash that like button, guys.